Hey, hope y'all had a good winter break. Today we're going to be talking about preparing for an interview. So this can be an interview for a job position. It can also be an interview for college or university or a scholarship. First, to start off, we're going to talk about a couple of interview tips. First would be analyzing the job or position. So making sure you're reviewing your job duties and making sure you're matching your skills and experiences to those responsibilities. Then researching the company in school is very important. This will inform you if you are a good fit for that school, company slash scholarship, right? Making sure that your work values fit the company's work values as well. This can also give you a chance to come up with questions for your interviewer. Third is practicing interviewing. Practice makes perfect, right? Practicing answering interview questions can really help ease the nerves. A lot of interviewers love to use very similar questions, so there's no guarantee that they're going to use all the questions you practice. There might be some questions you didn't practice, but for the most part, as much as you practice, the more confident you'll go into an interview. Fourth, choosing your fit in advance. So making sure you have a good outfit, right? It is very important to make sure that you're dressing appropriately for an interview. Most likely you'll be dressing professionally or professional casual, depending on the type of interview or who you're interviewing for. But most likely, better safe than sorry. Dress a little bit more professional, clean, and make sure you tidy up and you're well groomed, right? Fifth tip is to prepare materials. So making sure that you're updating your resume. I know y'all were working on your resumes last semester, as well as an updated list of references if that's something the company, scholarship slash school is asking for. And my biggest advice is to make sure that there's a list of questions that you have to ask the interviewer after your interview is done. Making sure you're using proper interview etiquette, so making sure you're watching your body language, shaking hands firmly, making eye contact when you're talking, and making sure you're paying attention, right? No, don't look at your phone, don't look distracted, don't cuss. Be very professional, right? Your seventh tip is directions. So making sure days before you know where you're going, make sure you put the direction on Google Maps, know how to get there, know how long it's gonna take you, where you're gonna park, do you have to pay for parking, all these little things to make sure that you're on time or even early to the interview, right? Um, it's very important to not show up late to an interview. And then last one is to follow up with a thank you note. This I've seen, I haven't seen as much, but it is a good thing to, follow up with the job interview with the thank you note, restating why you want the job or why you're interested in going to that school or getting that scholarship, um, and making sure you're just following up with next steps with the interviewer. Couple of common interview questions are listed here below. So use three adjectives to describe yourself. And why would you use these words? Tell me about yourself. What role do you serve on a team? What are some of your weaknesses? Describe a challenging situation and how you overcame it. How have you positively contributed to a school's or previous job's environment? And what are you passionate about? I know some of these may seem a little negative, like you don't like the answer is gonna be negative, so like for example, the weaknesses one. But you want to make sure one, you're telling the truth, you're being truthful, you're not perfect, right? You're not gonna say I don't have any weaknesses, but stating your answer with a ending your answer with a positive note, right? For example, I always say, I'm very competitive, right? That's a weakness of mine depending on the situation. I know there's a time and place for competitiveness, and there's a time and place to work as a team. And I have learned to recognize that, right? I'm ending with a good note at the end. So take your time, think about what your answers would be for each one of these questions, and then we're gonna practice. So in small groups, your teacher's gonna hand out a worksheet for you. You're gonna get it in partners, and you're gonna start practicing your interview skills. Okay, so there's one side that has the CAP interview rubric, and then there's the second in the back side. There's the 7 questions. I want you to take a little bit of time to write down a couple of notes on what you would answer for those questions. And then, and yeah, feel free to ask for help or advice from your teacher and from me if I'm in the room or once I get in the room, right? After you're done with that, we're gonna practice the interview. Okay, so you're gonna get with a partner and you're gonna practice asking. One of you is gonna ask the questions and then the other is gonna answer. Try not to look at your paper. Try not to say your answer verbatim the way you wrote it down. Just try to just naturally speak professionally, right? Look at your body language, look at your communication style, and try not to just memorize the answers, and more just practicing it coming out natural, like a conversation. Once you're done with that, the interviewer, the one who's asking the questions, will use the rubric to rate your interview and give you some positive and feedback and some growth feedback as well. And then once you're done with that, y'all can switch partners. Last but not least, your exit ticket. Please write down on the same piece of paper what are 2 areas of strength you have when it comes to interviewing, and then what are 2 areas of growth that you can work on. Awesome, y'all. Thank you.